city of the district is good. We're financially sound, we're involved with the community, and we're focused on the future. Being the president of the board is very exciting. I get to work collaboratively with the chief on a regular basis. And as a board, we don't always agree on every decision that we make. We get along very well and are able to discuss our differences to make a positive difference for the community and for the fire district.
I think the state of the district has improved dramatically since I've been on a board of directors. I've been on a board of directors now for 12 years, and in the 12 years I've been on, I believe we're financially stable. We're planning for the future. We want the fire district to be here long after I'm gone, and we're working hard to do that.
As long-term board member and past president, I am proud to say the state of the fire district is solid. We continue to evolve, seeking excellence in everything we do, focusing on the future needs of our community, innovative practices, training, and equipment.
The past boards and this board have continued to diligently and conservatively make sure that we are financially sound, that we are well prepared and in a good position for the future years coming. But at the same time, though, being ready and willing to invest in equipment and personnel, in policy and procedures to help us be ready for the future. When we look through the budget, it is extremely detailed, and we have opportunity to question anything and everything, get answers to our questions. What is this? Why is this important? We need to be able to justify the costs and expenditures and make sure that they're bringing real results and bringing real benefit to the communities that we serve.
This year has been especially gratifying. Our revenue has increased from property tax for the first time in a while. It's going to help us continue the mission that we have here in the district.
We recently updated our fee schedule. This is a study that was done by an outside firm that actually took a look at the services we provide and the actual cost that it takes the district to provide those services. Some fees went up, some fees went down, but again, it was a comprehensive look at the jobs that we're doing, the functions that we're doing, and the costs that we incur to give those services. There's no profit margin, if you will. It's strictly trying to cover our costs.
With the fee schedule, it's much more efficient. We're smarter at what we do, and overall, we're able to reduce the time that we used to spend on something, which has reduced the cost overall.
The fire district is involved in every aspect of our community. You see them out all the time. They're involved in Relay for Life, Bark for Life. They have an amazing Explorer program for young people. They literally are everywhere all the time.
The thing that we focus on a lot is the safety side of things, and police always gets the credit because we're one of the safest cities in the country. But the fire side of things, I'm telling you, if there was an issue when it comes to fire, we don't hear about it. That tells you something right there. It tells you that the coverage and the quality of service is exemplary. If not, we would certainly hear about it very quickly through social media or people coming to city council meetings. So as far as the quality of service that's provided through the Chino Valley Fire is superior.
Well, once again, Chino Valley Fire District has set the standard for the rest of the county. We expect first quality medical and fire response, but they also have many of the programs that are beneficial to our community residents.
We will come out and do programs on fire safety and community safety items that all the citizens are invited to, and help educate them. It's an educational experience is what it is. And we found that education is a very important part of fire prevention and also to help folks when they have an emergency medical situation. That the more you're educated on these items, the better you'll be able to handle that situation.
Heart Safe program is there's a number of steps, a number of things that we can be doing as a fire district to train the community to be better prepared and better able to help a neighbor, a friend, a stranger in need. And so it's this whole collaborative effort to try and better prepare our district and our community to be able to help someone if they have a heart attack, if they have a serious issue where they need some assistance.
The idea or the concept of developing a cardiac care program came from identifying a problem. It's a problem that is not just affecting our community, but it's literally a global epidemic. That problem is sudden cardiac arrest. What we know statistically speaking is that nearly 350,000 people die each and every year from sudden cardiac arrest. 70% of those occur outside of the hospital. That means they're happening at home, in the workplace, and in our community. To take it a step further, it's usually someone you know, someone you care about, someone you love. And unfortunately, survival rates from sudden cardiac arrest are astronomically low. We know that less than 10% survive from sudden cardiac arrest. We find that to be unacceptable. So what we have done as a fire district is chosen to fight back against sudden cardiac arrest.
The First Care Provider Program is to make our community bleed safe in the event of a natural disaster. It's a trauma program that is designed to teach our residents when we have a large disaster on how to control bleeding, whether that disaster be an earthquake, a fire, or any incident where we could have mass trauma or individual trauma, even on an individual basis. It's a program. It's taught to our residents one-on-one, and we're able to teach them on how to stop the bleed.
We want to take a proactive approach rather than a reactive approach. Trauma is the leading cause of death between the ages of 1 to 44. One person dies every 3 minutes in our country as a result from trauma, and statistically speaking, our children are more likely to be injured or hurt as a result of trauma than they are in school violence. And let's face it, each and every day we're reminded of what's been called our new reality, where active shooter events, intentional mass casualty events, and terrorist attacks are no longer just an issue overseas. They've become a problem domestically, they've become a problem locally, right here in our own backyard. The Bleed Safe community concept has served as a catalyst for us at the Chino Valley Fire District to strive to take a proactive approach to managing trauma rather than a reactive approach.
We're getting great feedback from the public. The public realizes the need to have a partnership with us in order for us to be successful together. And we just have gotten just an amazing response from the public. Everybody wants to help. Everybody wants to help, and especially when there's an emergency situation, I know everyone wants to step in and make sure that that person makes it home to their loved ones.
I think for residents of Chino Valley, they really have a gem of a fire district here, something that's unique to our residents. And they have the ability to go out and teach themselves how to be first responders themselves. We all need to be prepared for the future, whether if it's a natural or man-made disaster. And this is the opportunity, a district that's willing to give you free information to teach you life-saving skills that we need to all have. We need to be all first responders in the future.
The district is always focused on making sure that we're prepared for wildfire incidents that happen throughout the district. Our firefighters are very well trained. We do joint training with our other county partners as well, with Orange County, Riverside County, and Los Angeles County, all collaboratively so we can all work together when a major incident happens.
Well, fire season is year-round now. The seasonal fire season is no longer. That's something of the past. So we take measures, our training, we extensively train for this every day. We seek out equipment because things are changing.
We have Fire Safe Council that's in the Carbon Canyon area. It's made up of citizens, and it's a partnership between the citizens of the community and the fire district. And they take a very aggressive approach to keeping their canyon safe.
The drier we get in Southern California, the more importance is being placed on the need for fire protection, and with that comes fire training. And I've watched how our training's been taking place over the last decade or so, and the changes we've made to adapt to the drought conditions that are challenging us each year. So I feel real comfortable that if a fire does take place, and I live in Carbon Canyon, so I'm just as affected, that our guys are on it quickly.
We just completed it's called a standards of cover. But this standards of cover looks at the placement of stations, traffic flows by the hour or minute. And looking at this, it was a very, very in-depth study.
The standard of cover, we started late 2016, early 2017, identifying the need to update our standard of cover. And when we decided to do that, we also decided to add in the rest of the general plan to include community risk reduction and take a look at our overall services on how we're providing our services to the community. The standard of cover was an interesting process. It told us some things we knew, told us some things we didn't know, and it told us areas of improvement. So it was really a document that, at least from my perspective, is very, very well received on not only do we think we're doing a good job, but how we can do a better job. And that's our intent, is to do a better job. We can always get better.
So we found within our communities that there's a lack of medical equipment available to all of our community members, whether it be in the form of public access AEDs or public access trauma kits. We've partnered with our Fire Foundation, a nonprofit organization, and we're receiving donations from our community members, and 100% of the proceeds go back into the community in the form of public access AEDs and public access trauma kits. It's a grassroots program that is gaining so much steam. We've recently partnered with the Chino Police Foundation. We've recently partnered with Chino Valley Medical Center, as well as San Bernardino County Sheriff's Chino Hills Subdivision. We're showing our community members that we as first responders are united in our cause to increase survivability from both trauma and sudden cardiac arrest.
Pulse Point is an app that was developed by a Northern California fire department. And the Pulse Point app is designed for people that are trained in CPR, can download this app. This app will go on their phone, and if an incident comes down of sudden cardiac arrest, their app will go off, and if they're in a vicinity, they can respond over and assist in CPR or any means necessary to help revive the patient, whether it's the use of an AED or the CPR. And the Pulse Point app is relatively new. It's an app that we're looking at and implementing in our fire district. It will absolutely enhance our cardiac care program.
This year it's exciting as well because at Chino Airport we're going to add Reach Air, private-public partnership with Chino Valley Fire District that even brings out more capabilities of the fire district to respond to emergencies. If someone needs to be transported to a specialty hospital, a neural center or something, either in LA or Loma Linda, we can get our patients there quicker and faster. Just one more way that the district is beefing up their resources to respond to the growth of the valley and provide those first-class services to our residents.
Well, the challenges of the future, some are known, some are unknown. We know where we're going with some, such as Fire Station 68. We know that that's in the future, we know that's a challenge, and we know it's going to improve services to the community. Some of the unknown challenges are those types of things that are going to arise through either legislation or things that happen throughout not only our community, but throughout the world and throughout our nation. And when confronted with those, we'll have to see where we go with those and things that we have to do.
Our strong financial position allows us to plan for the future. And with that is part of our equipment replacement that happens we have that on a scheduled basis.
Part of the board's role, part of its function is to properly prepare for succession. And so we've got a number of senior people in the department that are preparing to retire. So we need to make sure we've got people prepared to fill in behind them, that people are trained and ready.
The personnel that we have that we're training and that are currently pursuing to fill those ranks, we are going to continue to be a solid and strong department.
So when it comes to just overall quality of service, the City Council really focused on quality of life in Chino Hills. And the quality of life is more than just one entity, it's a whole presentation of services.
There's a pride in this district, and it isn't just the shiny equipment. It isn't just the new uniforms or even the most current equipment and devices. It's the personnel. You have firefighters that know this community. Many of them live here. They care deeply about the community, and they have a very unusual, outstanding relationship with our police department. You can't buy that. You can't advertise with that. It's something that comes from within, and our constituents benefit from that greatly, and I'm so proud of it. But it's a quality that you just can't find everywhere you go, and we have that here.
In 2018, we all see that Chino Valley has exploded in growth. Both our housing and our businesses keep growing. Our economy is doing great. Unemployment is way down as well to historical levels. And the Chino Valley Fire District responds in the same way. They keep growing their operation, keep growing their responses to keep up with it. But it's a great time for the Valley. It's a great time to be partners with Chino Valley Fire District.